It seems like everyone has a book these days, but that doesn't always mean that they're good. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 celebrity memoirs Hollywood desperately tried to ban. Number 10, Worthy by Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith's new memoir was released, and thanks to an interview like a week beforehand, most of the good stuff was already leaked into the world. Jada's memoir, much like her actual life, is filled to the brim with things that really did not need to be said out loud. Apart from whoever does the audio book, if it's her, I will not be buying it. Before the book titled Worthy even hit the shelves, she revealed that herself and her husband Will Smith had been separated for 7 years, that her son Jaden introduced her to hallucinogens, that Tupac Shakur, the artist, proposed to her from jail, which a ton of people are saying is a lie, and Chris Rock asked her out on a date before she even confirmed that she was separated from Will Smith. And that's just what we know now. When the book actually hit the shelves, who knows what other juicy information will be inside. I haven't actually read this thing yet, but I'm thinking I might have to. For all we know, Jada is a Jedi who just keeps using mind tricks on the world, so we're like, oh man, this is really funny that they've been separated for 7 years, instead of being like, well, this is tragic. Hollywood really should have closed the door on this woman a long time ago. I'm gonna find a way to listen to this book without paying for it because she does not deserve any money, but I really need to know a little bit more about Will Smith's secrets. Like, what kind of toothbrush does that guy use? Number 9, A Sure Thing by Snooki. Fans of the Jersey Shore, you doing okay? Because you need a hug. There are a solid portion of people in this world who would love to read this book. If you watched The Jersey Shore and you loved Snooki, then this might be a good book for you. If you are anyone else at all, maybe go find something else because this is not for you. Snooki decided to sit down and write a fictional tale based on her life in the Jersey Shore. Instead of writing about her time on the show, she details a story of two friends looking for a good time during a summer at, you guessed it, the Grand Canyon. No, it's the Jersey Shore, of course. You know what they say, write what you know. Fans of Snooki were happy to pick this one up and give it a whirl. However, a large portion of reviews are super negative because people thought that they were buying a biography. Snooki's face is on the cover of this book, but once you open the first page, you are sucked into the world of Gia and Bella, who are basically just Snooki and JWoww. I would love to discuss, but it's a bit too graphic for the interweb. I want to point out that there is no audio version of this book yet, but the minute it goes on sale, I am going to be adding it to my library. Number 8, I'm Glad My Mom's Gone by Jeanette McCurdy. Jeanette is of course the woman who played Sam on the hit Nickelodeon series iCarly and later in her own spin-off with Ariana Grande called Sam and Cat. Jeanette actually decided to stop acting permanently in 2017 to focus on her life and her side gigs, including writing her own memoir detailing her life called I'm Glad My Mom Passed Away. I wish I could say the real title, but it rhymes with fried and I can't say it. In the memoir, Jeanette reveals a ton of behind-the-scenes secrets about the acting industry and of course her own personal experiences. Of course, she mentions iCarly and Nickelodeon a few times, something that she was actually asked not to do. Nick executives offered Jeanette $300,000 to not say anything negative about the program or her time on set. Well, she said heck no to that offer and wrote whatever she wanted to. For those who don't know, Nickelodeon was actually involved in a bit of a scandal surrounding the creator of many Nickelodeon shows, Dan Schneider, who was referred to in the book only as the creator. I won't go too deep into details because it's not too hard to piece together what he might have done considering the channel he worked for. The book is divided into two sections, before and after, with the stories taking place before and after the passing of Jeanette's mother. She revealed a ton of information on Dan, Nickelodeon, and her life as a whole, but if you want to know all of that, you gotta leave a like down below so I know that you care and we do an actual breakdown. Number 7, Rebels, City of Indra by Kylie and Kendall Jenner. Stepping away from the world of memoirs for a moment, it's worth mentioning that two Kardashian clan members decided to team up for this entry. Rebels, City of Indra is a fictional story taking place in a world of the far future in the city of Indra, a world with two faces, a floating paradise and a nightmare on the ground. The book was written by the team of Kylie and Kendall Jenner and was meant to be the next big young adult book like Maze Runner or The Hunger Games. Instead, what the world received was a literal pile of trash that apparently contains interwoven stories that make no sense and a really bad and cringy twist, and it's only 342 pages. Only. This steampunk-centric novel was not the fantasy feature that the young Jenners were hoping for. The reviews for this book are dreadful. Even people who have been following this family since day one didn't like it. I unfortunately did not have a chance to read this one before scripting, but part of me kinda wants to now, just so I can know how terrible it actually is, and if it's worth adapting into a miniseries. Number 6. Coreyography by Corey Feldman. Corey became a Hollywood legend before he even hit his 20s. In the 80s, this man was in everything. The Goonies, Lost Boys, Gremlins, and of course Stand By Me. But as time went on, Corey became less and less involved in Hollywood, and it was revealed that this was due to something dark happening behind the scenes. In his memoir, Coreyography, Feldman alleged that he had been mistreated by many men in Hollywood for a large portion of his career. Although Feldman asked the Los Angeles police to look into his claims, they had to drop the case due to the expired statute of limitations. In the memoir, he wrote that the people who did things to himself and his former best friend / co-star Corey Haim were still out there and working in Hollywood without a care in the world. While the Me Too movement did expose a ton of nasty people in Hollywood, it seems that there is still plenty of bad apples to choose from. One name that was tossed around in the memoir was former 2.5 Men menace Charlie Sheen, claiming that Sheen had forced himself onto Corey Haim on the set of the 1986 film Lucas. Again, something that could not be brought to court because it took place so long ago. Number 5. Troublemaker by Leah Remini. Leah Remini is probably best known for her role on the sitcom King of Queens as the wife of Kevin James, but some may know her best as an author. In 2016, Leah released a memoir titled Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Weird Science. It doesn't say weird science, but I can't say what she actually does because the internet gets mad when we do. The memoir is a collection of stories chronicling her experience from her career highs to her real-life lows. The book also contains a ton of information on the work of L. Ron Hubbard, who is usually associated with the group who, again, I can't say their name because they get mad. While her book is not the worst thing out there, as you might have figured out already, it does contain a ton of information that many found to be negative towards her former beliefs. Well, that's because she actually left her church a long time ago after she started asking too many questions about the logistics. Many people tried to denounce the things that she wrote in her book, mainly because she calls so much into question and makes good points. Points that I really want to make too, but I can't because the internet is... Why is the internet like this? Number 4. Selfish by Kim Kardashian. Of course, there is more than one Kardashian on our list. Are you nuts? These people are the best. Everything they touch turns into something. Kim decided to write her own book called Selfish, a book filled with photos and stories from cover to cover. It includes a ton of selfies of Kim, including travel pictures, family photos, and of course, swimsuit pics. The book also contains stories about several A-list celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, Lala Anthony, and of course her ex Kanye West. While the book did receive positive reviews online, a lot of people just bought it for the pictures inside. Needless to say, wholesome family photos are not the only selfies present in this book. Number 3. It's Not About the Bike by Lance Armstrong. Of course, disgraced Tour de France winner Lance Armstrong would feel that it's necessary to detail his life in written form. The book was released in 2000 before it was revealed that he was using chemical training wheels to win his races. For those who may not remember, Lance won 7 Tour de France medals, but after some digging and a very candid Oprah interview, he revealed that he did in fact cheat and take performance-enhancing narcotics to win the races. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the biographical book detailing Lance's childhood to his 1999 Tour de France victory. In the book, he actually addresses the allegations that had been surrounding him at the time, lying on every single page. He claimed that he would never do any narcotics and that he was a pure man, pure of soul. Well, of course that was not true, and this guy lied his way to the top, only to be stripped of all of his medals and left on the side of the road as a disgrace in the cycling community. Number 2. Star by Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson is known for many things: Baywatch, modeling, and recently for being makeup-free and looking fantastic. But she is one of many celebrities who felt the need to detail their lives in a written format. For Pam, it was Star, a novel. The book is a fictionalized retelling of her rise to stardom, exaggerating large portions for story. Now, while this doesn't sound like a terrible idea, considering Pam has had quite the rocky rise to the top, the reviews are horrible. Her ghostwriter used a ton of run-on sentences, made a ton of grammatical errors, and wrote about some truly disturbing relationship dynamics to describe Pam's life. Even hardcore fans of the Hollywood starlet wanted to throw this thing back into the bargain bin where it came from. The book was published in 2004, so I'm thinking it might be time for a part 2, or maybe even just a straight up fictional story written by Pam herself. No ghostwriters, just Pamela and an old typewriter. Number 1, A Peace of Mind by Charlie Sheen. So in doing research for Charlie's book, I found out that most websites don't even bother to take the time to write a description about this thing because it's so bad. This isn't just your average biopic book, no, this is actually just a series of poems and just random limericks written by Charlie Sheen while he was definitely under the influence of No Snow. It's almost like he jammed his face into a pile of it and just went to town. Now, I'm not gonna go too deep into this one. If you find a copy, I recommend you buy it just to see what kind of thoughts this man had rattling around in his brain. Like, considering his history with substances, it's probably not that hard to figure out the meaning behind some of his poems. Roses are red, violets are blue, I am God! Those are the celebrity memoirs that really should have been banned. What celebrity writer do you wish would just retire right now? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for stopping beyond the screen. Please drop a like if you had a good time and follow the channel for more celebrity content each and every day. We'll see you next time. Oh, you want to film? That's nice. Right there. Talking about memoirs, talk about people who wrote some books.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Scared me for a second.
Little trick.